Here we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. How's everybody doing? Finn, how we doing today? You
I
talk
I
to
think we're
us and
doing
tell us
pretty
about
well.
our
I think
guest here.
we're doing pretty well because we're very excited to have two guests with us today from PawChain. You probably know PawChain a little bit if you've taken any look at the Hello leaderboard because they are comfortably in the top three there as the leaderboard is going to close in just under an hour. So we are very happy to welcome two guests today. We have Brian from PawChain as well as 21. What's up, guys? Tell us a little bit about PawChain and what you guys have going on with PawChain right now.
What's up, guys? First of all, I just want to say thank you for hosting this stream and inviting us on here. A lot of exciting things. Voting closing in an hour. It's been an incredible ride. The strength of our community has been unbelievable, pushing us up into second place and allowing us, hopefully, this opportunity to present to the whales on the Killer Whales TV show. And we're very much looking forward to it. I'll just get into a little bit of my background real quick. My name is Brian, and I've been in the crypto space since 2019, invested in Bitcoin and Ethereum. But I didn't find PawChain until about 15 months ago. A friend told me about it, had no idea about DeFi. And over the last 15 months, I've had an absolute love affair with not only PawChain, but everything decentralized finance. Learning about blockchain technology, liquidity pools. I'm now a provider on Uniswap, and it's another way to make passive income. I look forward to talking about some of that today. But in a sense, we're a blockchain technology company that has built an L1, L2, and L3. And our L3 is like nothing that currently exists in the space. It's a totally new type of ledger system that is going to connect other layer ones to allow cross-chain functionality and swaps from one liquidity pool and one contract address. No more typical bridging, because everybody knows that bridging is not very safe. We are fully audited by CertiK. We have a top 20 CertiK score. We're waiting on our last audit to come through, and we are getting close to launching this tech to the world. And we believe it's going to be simple, easy to use, and it's going to usher in a new age of cross-chain functionality. And everything we built is for the space as a whole. We didn't just build this for our paw investors. We built this to move the entire Web3 space forward, to finally make it easy to get involved in crypto, get into DeFi. And, that's just the tip of the iceberg. I'll have 21 talk about some of the other stuff that we got coming, but we got a point of sale system, a point of merchant system. We're going to have a fully functional DAO that is going to control everything, a paw club, Paw Academy. Like I said, I'll let 21 speak on some of this, but very exciting times. We're currently onboarding projects that want to launch on our chain, and the future is bright, man. I'm very excited. Like I said, we've been building this thing since January of 23, and we're just about there. There's only a few grains left in this hourglass, and we're about to launch this thing, and our community is extremely excited.
Wow. What a great overview. It sounds like you've got your killer whales pitch down to a T right there. That's pretty good. That's pretty concise too. A lot of information there, which is great. I'm sure we're going to have some questions. So in chat, if you guys want to drop additional questions, we'll get to those in a little bit. But great overview, Brian. I think that's really exciting stuff. And to just kind of dive into quick question for you. So how long have you been with this project specifically? And like, what has that journey been like for you? And then 21, we'd love to do a quick introduction for you after that. And then the next question.
I've been with the project now for about 15 months. I started researching at the end of March of 23, and then got invested in April of 24. And over the last 14 months, to see the growth of what we become, because we had kind of a transformation of what we were going to be to where we are now. We had a rebranding that we'll talk about later, and just a whole new direction. And what has been most exciting for me being a part of this project, this community is like nothing I've ever seen. They are intelligent, they are helpful, they are friendly. The spread and share of knowledge is unbelievable. Like I said, I went in, felt like I graduated high school in crypto, and now I have a bachelor's degree in decentralized finance and blockchain technology. I've providing liquidity on Uniswap. I learned all about how liquidity pools work, just anything you could possibly think of to advance my knowledge and become a better investor myself. It's been so good. It's completely changed my financial outlook on the future and retirement. From my day job, making that day come quicker because I think we're on the precipice. What I think will be one of the biggest bull runs in history, and the growth I would say would be the most exciting thing, and just being a part of this community, and we just keep bringing people in and they love every second of it. Every voice is heard, everybody's listened to, and you feel like you have a part in the success of this project. And that's what I really love. I feel like I belong, like the work I'm putting in. I became a marketing team lead along with 21 a few months ago. And just what I learned with marketing, making connections, meeting people, and just moving forward has been so fulfilling. And I think every one of our community members feels that.
I love that. And you said something there that I know Baum got really excited about, and that was retiring early. So Baum, of course,
Yep.
perked up at that, of course.
Yep.
But I want to ask specifically, you talked a little bit about the community and just the community being so strong. And I want to hear from 21 on this too. So maybe 21, we can just segment it over to you here. What would you say from your perspective? Because you're both, marketing leads. That's something that you take an active role in seeing what the community wants, what they're all about, and then growing the community externally from the project to bring more people in. So if you were to not only say it for your existing community, but also other community members, like how would you quantify that? Like what are we all about as a community? And not only that, but for people that are joining, like what could they expect as community members? And 21, I think we got you muted.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't know.
all
Sorry,
good.
pardon me. I was trying to clear my throat. I didn't want to do it on the space. That's a great question. So I think we use the term interoperability a lot for PawChain. And the reason I apply it here to our community is because our community and the project itself, they are very interoperable. PawChain does a great job at keeping a finger on the pulse of the community, and the community shows up, man, they deliver. There's a great relationship between the two, and it's actually just the chemistry between the two is very organic and it's very natural. The community shows up whenever they're needed for whether it be art, voting, whatever the case may be. So there is a great synchronization between the project and the community, and it's the first time I've seen it organic like that. You know what I mean? It's really, really cool. There are some very talented people, and I'm definitely just thankful to be a part of it, man. It's something really I haven't seen just yet in the crypto space, and it's pretty awesome.
I love that. And I think you said something there. It's the kind of connection between the team and the community that's so important. What are some ways, in addition to maybe like voting, like you talked about, or artwork, that PawChain really does kind of integrate with the community and keep that communication open with the community? Is it like on posts, on Discord, Telegram? Like, what are some ways that if people wanted to get plugged into the PawChain community, they could go to these areas and they could kind of get started, so to speak, with the community?
Definitely, man. We've got some great channels and some great avenues that foster just that. One of them being Discord. You can come into the Discord. There's an art channel. There's a food and drinks channel. There's a video game channel. And we're all there. Everyone is there. That's from the dev team to the Genesis team to the marketing teams. Everybody's there interacting on Discord. And there's not really there's roles and we have our badges, but we integrate with the community like normal, and we go to these channels and we talk. There's an art channel. There's a channel for everything happening in the eco, like the voting and things like that. We have a voting channel where people can come in, and the dev team will go in there and they'll delegate tasks. Hey, we need to get this many votes. We need some art made for this, and anyone from the community can submit their stuff, and it actually gets used, and it's really, really a great,
Wow.
great give and take.
So it's like a community project, truly. It's something that the
Yes,
community
we are.
is.
Yes, we are very
I like that.
community-driven project. Yes, and I'm
Can-
sorry
can-
that we
can you
didn't
guys-
mention it further earlier. We
Yeah,
are
no,
community-driven.
that's really, really awesome.
Yeah.
And can you guys do me a quick favor, if you could? I mean, you don't have to do it now. We can do it after the stream. But I just wanted to make a note of this right here. If you guys could drop in our chat here, the Discord link or Telegram, anything you guys have there, because we'll put it on the description for the video if anyone wants to check out the Discord, and we can even maybe drop it in the chat right there on YouTube so that people can check it out and they can get involved. And I want to make sure we talk about this a little bit earlier in the stream due to time here. You guys do have about 49 minutes before the leaderboard closes. So if you haven't already, go over to hello.one and click on PawChain and give them some love. There's some free votes that you can do, as well as some paid voting there. If you guys want to give PawChain some love, now would be a good time to do it, because in an hour you're not going to have a chance to. So make sure you show your support. Go over to hello.one, click on the leaderboard. If you want to expand the view out, you're going to see PawChain sitting pretty comfortably in second place, but we never like to leave these things to chance. So show your support, go over there, and let's make sure they get on Killer Whales Season 2. We're really excited about that upcoming. And I wanted to talk to you about this, Brian, with Killer Whales around the corner, right? And you mentioned a little bit earlier, there might be something, and I don't know if we can talk about that on stream, but something that people might be able to look forward to in about a month or so. Is that something you could tell us a little bit more about, and kind of what that will look like in relation to a marketing event such as Killer Whales?
Absolutely. The timing with the Killer Whales and this voting and being able to film on this show, if we close the next 50 minutes and earn our spot on there, is going to time up extremely well with our possible mainnet launch. We are in the final audit stage. We had our beta live since February, and people testing it, people creating tokens, jumping back and forth between the L3 and L1. But we are in the final audit stage of our validator, 85% right now with Certic. And as soon as that comes back clean and the team has made the recommended changes, we are going to launch our mainnet and start onboarding projects and bring this multi-chain platform to the masses. And I couldn't be more excited for the timing to link up with the Killer Whales, because when we go to film, we'll have something to show people, show the whales that, like, hey, you don't need 5 liquidity pools anymore to go cross-chain. You just deploy on our platform. We're free. We're permissionless. You don't need to pay any money. And you will be available to our connected chains. And some of the chains that we're now, this isn't finalized because we're doing market analysis, every day to see what chains are the most active. But I think we're going to start with 5 to 6 chains, including BNB, Polygon, AVAX, Ethereum, and Base, the Base network. And then eventually, what's great about our L3, it's infinitely scalable. So we can just keep adding chains to that L3. I'm sure down the line, Solana will be connected because that's the hot chain right now. But with it being a non-EVM chain, it's much more difficult to connect to. So it takes some complex coding to make sure it's done safely and securely. But I know our dev team will be able to figure it out and make that work, because we ourselves, we're a non-EVM chain, but we're EVM compatible. So that's the plan to start. And, it'll be, how cool is it to be to show up to a swap with one wallet and be able to use BNB, AVAX, whatever native token that you want. And if there's a pool on PawChain, you can use that without having to jump to another swap, without having to use another wallet. It will just be easier. And that's what I've always been saying, is more work in this space, because let's be honest, it is not very user-friendly. I think the development over the last 4 to 5 years has done a bad job of bringing everybody in to try and make the simple people, not simple people, you know what I mean? Like the question I get from my friends and family when I talk to them about crypto, because obviously they know I'm in it now, and they're just like, it's so difficult. It's so hard. I don't want to deal with it. I can't use it. You got to do this. And then I walk them through the process, get them set up, send them to a decentralized app, send them to a wallet. Then they got a 2-factor verify. They got to send money from here, send money from there. If you can make it easier to just be able to click a button, that cross-chain stuff, all that bridging stuff happens on the back end, and in a matter of seconds, they got their token in their wallet with a click of a button. It will be huge. It will be easy, and we'll be really focused as well on UI to make the platform easy to read as possible, easy to use as possible, and like I mentioned earlier, secure as possible. Like that is our number one priority, is securing our funds. That's why we're so serious about these audits, because without security, you got nothing. We plan on handling millions, if not billions of dollars in one day in investor funds, and we need to make sure that those are protected. So another thing I want to mention is the funds will be also monitored by something called Skynet Certic monitoring, 24-hour monitoring service, where if there is an issue, our team is immediately notified and they can take the necessary steps to correct that problem. So it's going to be exciting. We got big marketing pushes We have I'm going to get into the teams that we have onboarded. Over the last 6 weeks, we have onboarded over 50 team members to focus on things like marketing, project onboarding, media, and then my biggest one, which I think nobody else has, is customer service. We are going to have a customer service team that is dedicated to answering questions, because in decentralized finance, that simply just doesn't exist. You make a mistake, something happens, you're lost. It's done. Like, oh my God, what do I do? Who do I talk to? We'll have that. You'll have someone to reach out to, and then we'll have the project onboarding team who will be able to walk you through the process of deploying your token, deploying your liquidity, explaining the chain to you. All part of making things easier and more comfortable to use.
Absolutely. And I think you said something super important there about not just the ease of access and being able to get into crypto in a way that's not overly confusing, but also the fact that once people get in, if there's a mistake or if they have a question or if something pops up, they're rare crypto communities. I'd say maybe like 2 to 3% that have a very ready customer service team that can that's real, that's not just an AI bot that's responding to messages, and you can actually speak with someone that can assist you or that can help you. And I think that's so important as we're talking about onboarding the next couple million, couple billion people into crypto. That's the most important thing, is really guiding them through that process, because for all of us, we just assume, oh yeah, they're going to know this or that. And then you realize, wait a second, I had all these questions when I first started out as well. How can I make that learning curve a lot easier and not as steep as it was for me? Just make it a little bit easier for the next person that comes along. And by the way, you said something about Solana. If you guys haven't checked this out already, Hello is coming out with their Solana bridge in about 3 days. So just be aware. If you haven't checked out at hello.one, go ahead and you'll see that the Solana bridge will be coming out there. Some pretty cool stuff that Hello is going to be on Solana as well. I do have another question, and this one's actually from an audience member, because I was going through some questions to ask you, and I realized both Brian and 21 answered all of those questions, which means I got to tell you, your Killer Whales pitch is down, because all the questions that they're going to have, you're going to be able to answer in your opening pitch, which will be great.
I live and breathe this stuff, man. I'm every day. This has become a second full-time job, man. I am so passionate about this. I love everything I do. I look forward to it, man. I really look forward to being able to one day just focus 100% on PawChain, when I can, maybe one day leave my my day job.
Oh yeah, I see Bombs up there crossing his fingers there too.
Couldn't agree more.
The dream is alive and well. But so now moving into one of the questions from the audience, we have Welly Floor Sweeper asking, how about the plan for the point of sale system and Paw Card? I would love to know more.
I'm gonna let 21 take that one.
Awesome.
Great one. Man, great technical points, Brian. Man, he always hits the nail on the head. It's great, man. I love hearing about the tech too when he breaks it down. It's just always makes me bullish again. And that kind of segues me into the next thing. There was a need. There was a need that PawChain kind of saw about that, and that's going to be. I'll talk about the point of sale system in just a second. This will kind of go into it, but the need for builders and holders, like Brian talked about, the user friendliness. It's just really easy and digestible. You can actually navigate the space without having to kind of learn all that stuff overnight. And the same thing for the builders. There's no safe, fast, and cheap way to build right now. Let's just be honest. It's a side chain, it's a copy pasta job, or it's something that's just congested as the last chain that you left. So for those two avenues were very important, and that was important for PawChain to kind of fill that gap in between. So one of the ways they did it for the builders was the point of sale system. That actually, we talk about mass adoption. We talk about, hey, when is the world going to accept our crypto payments? But as of right now, they don't really have a way to. They have to do a lot of the same things we do in our space, and we kind of guide people every day. Be safe, be careful, don't click links. A vendor running a convenience store doesn't want to have to do that. And it's almost impossible for them to do that. So what did we do? We gave them a point of sale system that will actually let them accept crypto payments. And whenever they look down at their account, they're just going to see their native fiat that they selected previously. They don't have to worry about the gas, the swapping, any of that type of good stuff. And it is all based on the PawChain network. So as we talked about infinite scalability, your normal Visa network is giving you about 3,000 transactions per second. So if we're scalable to say 80,000, for example, kind of gives you an idea of where we're going with this. So it makes again, you're back to that convenience store. You're a vendor. I don't know how to accept these crypto payments. I don't know what to do, and YouTube's too damn confusing. Well, now you have a point of sale system. You got the hardware, you got the network, you have everything you need to accept that crypto payment. And mind you, we're multi-chain. So when we're talking about accepting crypto payments, you're not limited to one, two, maybe three, like some of these apps and some of these payment gateways, right? You're talking cross-chain applications, so you are accepting crypto payments. You know what I mean? Not just one or two. So that point of sale system now empowers you to accept these crypto payments. You're going on business as usual. 8 hours closes. You want to see what's in your account, and you don't no longer have to worry about swapping that crypto to your native fiat or anything like that. It's not going to cost you extra dollars. It's actually going to land in your account, all on the back end. All this is done, and it lands in your account in the native fiat that you've chosen previously. So now you're just profiting. You're just profiting at this point, and it's very, very easy, very user friendly. In the same way that Brian broke down, for the holders, we did the same thing for them. It's very user friendly. You sit down in front of the website and you just select the crypto you want, and you see it in your wallet a few seconds later. So making it digestible for both the builders and the holders. And I use the point of sale system for an example because that was our question, and I think that's an absolute great approach to take as far as not only the adoption standpoint, but just the adoption. I'm sorry, not just the business adoption and mainstream adoption, but also the user adoption. There is a big divide and a big gap in between what we can do and what others can do, and the knowledge. You're either a builder or you're a holder in this space. There isn't a whole lot of in between. We wanted to kind of close that gap up a little bit, and we felt this was a really good approach to do that.
I love that. Finn, just so you know, you are muted, so I'm going to take a question. I might have done that myself. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so they actually, I believe in season 1, they actually had somebody come on and actually try to do this and talk about this. And I think one of the big things that stuck out from the judges was the gas fees and how that was going to play in. Do you guys have any topics for that on like dealing with the gas fees? I think that I don't remember the actual project that it was, but I don't know if that's
so. It's actually funny you brought that up because the next question from the audience was ask how PawChain Layer 3 will save everyone lots of money. And so that if we could kind of tie in those two questions to whoever wants to take that one, I love it, Bomb, and thank you for catching me on mute. I appreciate it.
Before we jump in, I just want to piggyback on what 21 said about the point of sale, because it was all, it's all great stuff about bridging that gap, like you said. But what's going to be nice, and what I mentioned earlier, is, we're going to have this system set up, but we're going to have people that are going to explain to these vendors to be able to help them to set it up on their own. We're not just going to post and say, hey, we got a point of sale system. I feel like a lot of people do that, and then they just leave a blog or leave something up on their website and said, hey, just connect to it. But if they had questions, they can reach out to our team and we can walk them through the process, explain how the transactions are going to work, explain how the L3 to L3 transactions are going to be gasless, right? 21, there's going to be no gas when you go L3 to L3. I'll let you speak more on the gas fees and all that stuff.
Oh yeah. But great point. I do like that. And again, it all comes back to interoperability. You'll see the definition of interoperability presented in an array of different ways throughout the PawChain eco. You won't hear the word, but you'll see it in action, and that's exactly what Brian just broke down. And I love that. But yeah, gasless, man. L3 to L3, definitely gasless. So you now have a cheap way, and now the gas issue is solved. So now the vendor, doesn't really have to. And again, they don't have to worry about any of that type of stuff because it'll all be done on the back end. So if it's gasless, and it's there will be some small fees, of course, associated with every network, but the gas will be saved. So it'll be awesome, man. It'll be solutions are everywhere.
I like that.
Wow.
And I think for Bomb, he wants to be able to just go buy a sweatshirt from the grocery store when he sees it at the checkout line. And so when as easy as you can make crypto to the end user, I think that's everything. And walking them through the process, which you guys have talked about, is huge. You mentioned the word, what is it, inoperability, or what was the word?
Interoperability. Interoperability.
Can you define that for the
me,
two clowns
just
over
me.
here? Yeah,
Just
we'll
me
just say
specific.
just Bob, but really it's both of us. and how that works into the community and like
For most,
your vision.
to be honest, it's most people.
Yeah.
So how
Yeah.
our definition of a, I know Brian mentioned it earlier too, is a blockchain tech, and I love that description of PawChain. It's really really cool because it is tech blockchain tech and it's blockchain solutions. So the interoperability is being able to exist and operate on all chains that we're connected to simultaneously, as opposed to what we're used to, like a traditional DApp. It's one chain at a time, things like that.
Mm,
So picture a CEX, right? Picture a CEX in a DeFi setting. Your CEX is like Coinbase, can go any chain, anywhere, any crypto, do things that we don't really, we kind of take it for granted because we don't see it, right? It's not in our user interface. It's on the back end. So imagine that in a DeFi setting. Imagine that with a DAO. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's PawChain. That is PawChain, and that's how PawChain will operate. Simultaneously connecting everything instantaneously and working together at once. Interoperability and simultaneously. I think they go hand in hand together.
I like that. And I think it's really helpful for you guys explaining this to us because it's a good test case for the other people that don't get it, right? Coming into
Yeah.
cryptos. If we can understand it, I think you've done a pretty good job. Brian, you were going to say something about that too.
Yes. A simple word that I compare interoperability to is communication. Interoperability means the other blockchains can communicate now. They can all talk to each other. That's the problem that exists currently with all these different blockchains is they're all just in their own separate lane, and it's difficult and not very safe to jump and communicate with the other chains. Like 21 said, he said it great with the central exchanges. They just do it, but you pay for it in fees. If you use Coinbase, Binance, you see all those fees when you buy Ethereum, when you swap Ethereum to Solana, when you're doing all these swaps, it can be very expensive. And that's how they do it. They collect all the fees. You'll be able to do that on PawChain without those exorbitant amount of fees. There'll be a small fee, but it will be much less than what the central exchanges do. So just think of interoperability as communication, like a sphere and just all these lines connected together in one central hub, and that will be PawChain. And everything will just be simultaneously connected all at one time.
Realized I was on mute again. Bomb, I got you. I see you. I see what the point there. So final question we have from the audience, and then we're going to go to the YouTube chat and then jump into some giveaways right after that, is what is the most bullish case for PawChain look like? And now, again, I don't want you guys to feel like you have to answer that, but I think you guys were talking about, housing millions or if not billions of dollars. And so for you guys, how big in what amount of time are you looking to build PawChain? I know everyone's kind of like, oh, we see this as being a $1 billion company by this time frame, but really like breaking that down, what does the scalability effort look like for you guys in terms of, you're both really marketing leads, right? So this is something I know you guys are thinking about, like how do we reach the next X amount of people and the next X amount of people after that?
The scalability is infinite, and that is one of the marketing things that we can grow to any demand that is ever presented to PawChain. So that's one of the biggest marketing things that we have right there, because it is absolutely it's the scalability is infinite. You know what I mean? And that's something that is not really current and possible right now. In theory it might be, but we actually have the tech to make it happen. So that's why it's really really bullish, and it's no matter what because right now congestion is a thing, and whether you're paying $1,000 for gas, congestion, or your transactions fail, whatever the case may be, it all has something to do with congestion. It has something to do with a lot of people getting into crypto and just using it at the same time. Well, we can solve that issue. So that in turn solves a lot of different issues, which bringing down the gas, things like that. So I think the best case I can say for PawChain would be connecting everybody in the crypto space. We make a lot more noise if everybody is screaming blockchain than we do if everyone is screaming their compartmentalized networks, And if we all just scream blockchain together, then we can actually make a lot more noise and do a lot more with adoption and do a lot more things. And of course, that trickles down across the board. You can do the math, you can kind of factor that in. But if we're all on the same page and we're all screaming the same thing, I feel like that's the most bullish case for PawChain.
I like it. And Brian, anything you would add to that too?
Absolutely. And like 21 just mentioned, the word I think of is unity. Imagine being able to unite the entire space under one umbrella with an entire ecosystem of functionality in one hub. And, it will just interlinking everything together so people can still be on their native chains, swap their native assets, but go through one central hub to make that happen. And, you know, the most bullish case for me, and people like you mentioned, oh, it's $1 billion project, it's a $10 billion project. I never put a number on it. You know, when everyone's asked for a price prediction, I can't tell them because it's going to come down to adoption. So we're focused on adoption, getting this information out there, onboarding projects because we need their liquidity, and then the volume kicks in. Why Solana is running right now is because of all the volume from all the projects on that chain and all the trading going on right now. So it pumped the Solana token because they're paired with them in their liquidity pool. Sol is paired to every single one of those projects, and every time one of those projects go up, Solana goes up as well. So the same thing can happen with PawChain. We just need the first project to come in and just absolutely take off, and then we're off to the races. And like I said, we got a very robust marketing plan to be able to onboard, to bring people in, to spread that message of one place you can come, you can be, and be connected to all these chains. So I never put a cap on it. I honestly believe when you climb a mountain, you want to get to the top, right? You don't want to go halfway up the mountain. So why we have a goal to be the number one crypto technology company in the world, have the number one blockchain system in the world, and be the safest in the world, you know, right up there with Bitcoin and Ethereum. There's no reason why we can't be if we get this adoption. You know, get these people in to use our platform because it will be easy and it will just have everything connected, so you can do everything you want in crypto, invest, provide liquidity, all these different things, make passive income in one spot, and then have an app to be able to do that on, which we have coming as well. Very bullish, man. It gets me excited about it because I can just see once people know who we are. And the reason why we're still kind of just building grassroots is it can be very expensive to market. I think you guys know you can blow through hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, and get nothing out of it. We wanted a product to sell. So now when we have this mainnet, we have this product that we can show, something tangible that we can give to people and say, hey, use this. It will make your crypto experience better.
That's beautiful. I mean, I think everything you're talking about is music to the community's ears, and we're hearing it in the chat over here. Just kind of scrolling through, people are stoked about PawChain, and I think it goes to show that I think your minds as well as your hearts are in the right place, because I think some people, they can have their heads are in the right spot, but they're you can tell kind of their heart isn't behind the journey that's ahead, or it isn't really plugged into the journey that it's going to take when you're faced with some obstacles that come up that you might not foresee. And I think for you guys, it's not just a heart exercise, but you also have the wherewithal to make it happen. And I think those two things don't always intersect, especially in the crypto space, where it's like, you're like, man, we could release a project, but we want to make sure people understand how to use it, because we want it to be want it to be worth something for them when they come into the space. And I think that's a really neat distinction for both of you that I've gotten that impression. I don't know about Bomb, but I think when you guys are talking about it, you get both sides where it's clear you guys have the knowledge base, but also you guys care about the end user. And that doesn't always happen in the crypto space, unfortunately.
One of can I ask something real quick, if you don't mind?
Yeah.
Okay. One of the things that we always like to talk about and reiterate is I talked earlier about the big divide between the founders and the holders. You know, for years there has been a big divide. You know, there has been things like, trust me, bro, there's been a big gap in between the holders, the founders, and the builders and the holders. Everybody on the PawChain team and a lot of the community came from being holders. They saw issues that needed to be addressed. They got a team together and they addressed it. They built it. They built solutions as holders, and that's why you see such an integrated team. That's why you see such a community acknowledgement and things like that, because everyone here working on this project was once a holder just like everyone else. And we remember where we came from. You know, hey, we need to really address this. People are talking about solving this, but we need to actually freaking solve it, you know. And that's what they did, and that's what the project is really based about. So that's why you see the blood, sweat, and tears, and the heart, and you hear, you know, the passion and things like that, because that's what the project is based on, and that's what it's built about. It is for the people, to give the power back to the people.
I like it.
I
I
love
like
that.
it a lot. Bomb, what were you going to add?
I
I
was
could
yeah.
hear you clearing your throat and just
Yeah,
ready to strike.
I
So
was getting ready to strike. No, yeah, I was just talking. I was looking at chat, and you see so many people like Trust Believe, Crypto Hog. These people, I'm assuming, all come from PawChain because I haven't seen some of these. Emmy Soul, Denise, Patrick Neary. All these people come in here, and I think the biggest thing that even just I'm getting first time on call with you guys is there is passion behind what you guys do. Which like you'll have people that are gonna be in spaces 10 times a month or whatever where they're like, oh, I'm talking about the same thing again, like here we go, like, but this is totally different. And I like genuinely saying you can hear the passion behind when you guys are talking about it, because you're like, no, there's a need. I see it, I've felt it, I know what it's like, and I'm going to deliver a product or something that's going to solve this. That's like, and that's what you get. That's what you get in like the, you know, like the dream, American dream, where it's like, oh, you found a problem and you provide a solution and you're passionate about it. That's the biggest thing I see right now. And I think that's why even chat is like, oh, this is PawChain. Like, it's going to be fantastic. We know the people behind it are passionate about it and they want to solve the solution. So there's not really a question, more of a props to you guys, because I mean that's just awesome. So
I was gonna say, Bob just went real deep there. He's got his pen there. He's been whiteboarding over here, like, wow, the vision is coming to life. I love it.
Well, I come from traditional finance background. I've been investing for almost 20 years now, and the three things I always ask myself are: what problem does it solve? Will someone use this product? Will I personally use this product? And if their answer is two out of those three, I'm interested. If all three are answered, I'm looking for a way in. And it's been very successful for me in traditional finance as well as crypto products, because in the end, you have to solve a problem. And we're solving simplicity, scalability, and the interoperability issues. So that's why I'm so bullish. And I'll tie it into what you guys are doing over at Hello. I know you guys are on BNB, you're on Ethereum, and you're going to be launching on Solana shortly. And you're using 3 separate liquidity pools, you know, different contract addresses. Imagine if you can just pool that money or just deploy a pool on PawChain and already be connected to those chains simultaneously with that simple one contract address, one liquidity pool, get rid of some of the confusion and not have the people jump around on, you know, just the BNB maxis or the ETH maxis, the Sol maxis, being able to bring them all together, all those maxis in to one place.
I like it. And I have a quick question for you, because I like traditional finance as well as the crypto space. One thing I've found is traditional finance can kind of seem like a 4-letter swear word in the crypto community sometimes, right? Where it's like the traditional finance is kind of, oh, we don't do that, we're only crypto, or we're we don't do any crypto, we're only traditional finance. How would you say for you personally, like bridging the gap between the two and finding like outside of crypto, what is your I don't know if it's more just a interesting perspective that I've met someone else now that feels the same way, or if there's a question involved. But I guess how for you, being someone that really does enjoy traditional finance, have you incorporated that into what your crypto journey has been so far?
That's a great question, because I think they're going to be interlinked as time goes on here. The traditional finance world and the crypto world are soon going to become intertwined, because once these traditional finance companies, these Fortune 500 companies, realize that there are safe platforms out there to be able to transact and send money around the world for fractions of what it currently costs now. Companies spend billions of dollars every single day just wiring, sending money around the world, and credit card companies, central exchange, authorities are making billions of dollars. Imagine when these Fortune 500 companies figure out they can send $100,000 for $5. You better believe that they're going to want to do that for their shareholders and save their company billions of dollars, increase profits, increase their bottom line. And that's what's coming. And there just hasn't been the tech yet that's been able to meet that demand, that trust yet that's been able to meet that demand. And we feel like with PawChain and our scalability solution and our interoperability solution, this tech is going to start coming out, and these companies are going to start trusting blockchain. And then you can even move away from just sending money when it comes to financial storage, records, data keeping, schools, like medical records, like all this stuff that is going to be used on blockchain. That's why, like, sometimes I don't even compare it to crypto. When I'm talking to people, I more talk about the technology of blockchain, not just crypto, being able what it will provide and move forward. And I think the traditional finance in this crypto world are going to start joining together. We've already seen a 180 from a lot of politicians because they realize that we can't be silenced. And they want some votes, and they know that we got some voting power now. And it's only going to keep happening, guys. This tech is still in its infancy. We're like 14, 15 years in since Bitcoin first launched, and the development of growth is just getting started.
So, by the way, guys, everyone, I'm so sorry, Bomb. I just wanted to say, Bomb has put in the chat the links for PawChain. If you guys want to check that out, you'll have to scroll a little bit. I don't think we have it pinned. But go ahead and check out the links there. We've got the Telegram, and we've got the Discord there, as well as you can check out their website there. Go ahead, Bomb. Sorry, you were going to jump in.
No, I was going to quickly say, you were talking about how it takes all three, and it, like, that's something that you're like, oh, I want to get involved in. What do you say to people that are like, okay, how do I get involved then? What is your, like, where are you guys at? How do we get involved? If you were just somebody like us, for example, how would you guys do that?
I'll speak real quick, and I'll let 21 jump in on this as well. What I personally do is I invite people to join our socials first, because like when I invest into other projects, I want to get a feel for what they're building, what the community is like, because you should usually tell within a few days what kind of project you're in. Is it just hype boys and moon boys? What's going on there. It's probably nothing coming. But if the devs are in there talking to you, if the community is passionate, like you said, you can feel our passion. That's what it's like in our socials, and you expose them to that, and it makes people want to get involved. Now, when I'm talking to people in real life, friends and family, I don't tell them about, hey, you need to buy this, invest in this, you'll make 100x. What I do is I explain my journey, what I've done over the last 15 months, how I've spent the time to learn, how I'm making passives now by staking, providing liquidity, showing them how it's changed my financial future, and the opportunity exists to get in this space and be able to plan better, to make money in the future. And I show them how to do that. And then their ears perk up. Then they're like, holy cow, that's what you made? That's what you've been doing? And I did this during a bear market. We haven't even seen the bull market now. And when they see this, they're much more inclined to get involved. And then I take the time to walk them through the process, to set up a wallet for them, to tell them to get their money off a central exchange. You don't keep your assets on a central exchange, self-custody. And then as they get in, they want to learn more. They start learning about cold wallets. They want to start learning about different things, liquidity. They become better educated investors, and that's what our community does. The longer you're in our community, the more educated you become, the better investor you become.
I agree. I think spot on. The person with an opinion is always going to be at the mercy of someone with an experience, and I think that you having that experience and leading with your heart, right, and not just the education right away, but then shortly thereafter sharing your story, educating. You're not just selling something up front saying you got to buy this, right? Because I think that just goes to show, again, your heart, your head are in the right place, and that's something that you can kind of just, it's coming out of your pores when you're talking. You can just you can feel it from both of you and 21. And 21, anything that you would add to that specifically? But I think that was great, Brian.
Yeah, definitely. And always, man, Brian always hits the nail on the head, and we like the organic growth. We are big fans of the organic growth. Pardon me. So instead of having people just come and force it down their throats and, hey, you need to do this, please buy. It's more so just kind of lay out the breadcrumbs. And if they wanna pursue, they're more than welcome to pursue. They have a safe place to learn in. They have people they can rely on, find the answers, do their own research. But it's organic growth, and that's how we feel that it's a lot. It's good for the eco, and it's good for the community because people are there because they want to be. And then you're left with nothing but passionate people, Of course, we do have some candle chasers. Every project does, and that's fine. We've got the tech for it. But the point is, the organic growth is really what we try to foster and just give people the resources they need to take their next step, regardless of which direction they may be in, take their next step safely in the crypto space. And I think by that approach, we've actually gained a lot bigger family.
Yeah. I love that. Just again, you could have just said, "Hey, here's where you buy it," but you said, "No, I want you to get involved in the community first." That's right
Right.
there alone
Yeah.
is the difference from you compared to hundreds of other people that I've talked to. So, yeah,
Absolutely.
that's
Yeah,
amazing.
definitely.
And
And
it's
something
really
really
cool to.
quickly.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead, 21.
No, I was just gonna say it's really cool to see people come in whenever they're kind of new to crypto, and you see them learn, you see them elevate, you see them learn things, and they're using it. They're
Yep.
they're passing the word on to the next person, and it's kind of like we are our brothers and sisters keepers in this space. That is one of the biggest hiccups in the crypto space is nobody wants to put in the work for the next man or the next lady, and that is something that we all do diligently, whether we're in the PawChain community, on the team, regardless. If you're associated with PawChain, you're looking out for the next man or the next lady, and you're leaving the mess a little nicer than the way we found it. You know what I mean? So that's something.
Campground mentality. I like it. Yeah.
That's just how it is, man, and that's how we roll, and I think that's been good for us.
Yeah, it's
Love
funny.
that.
Whenever you guys are saying all these things, I just noticed Bomb and I appear like a couple of bobbleheads on a
Right.
dashboard of a car over here. We're just like up and down. We're up and down, baby, up and down. Well, hey, I appreciate it, guys. It's been awesome having you on stream. We do need to get to some giveaways here for the community. Bomb, I know you've got a wheel to spin there. And then
That's
after
true.
the giveaways, which Brian, I believe you and the PawChain community will talk a little bit about that in just a second. But then we're going to go over to you guys, let you guys have some closing remarks, and then go from there. But we appreciate everyone in chat. The chat is coming out in spades right now in the chat. So if you guys haven't yet, make sure you go vote for PawChain. You've got 13 minutes left to vote. After those 13 minutes, you can eat your breakfast. You can get a sandwich or whatever you need to do. But until that time, make sure you're voting for PawChain and getting that in there. And then let's go ahead and transfer over to a wheel. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel. By the way, I tried to pull as many names as I could from the Hello Telegram. If you guys did the 3 fire emojis and I didn't get you on this wheel, we'll do another giveaway and we'll incorporate that to celebrate the Hello Burn crossing, I believe, Bomb, 1 million Hello tokens.
Yes, that's what I've heard, but we'll go ahead and check that. For those of you that are on here, PawChain is still in second. Just refresh the page here, so you
Can
guys
you
are
show
all
us
good.
that on your? Can you show us that on stream, or at least
It
for the
is.
chat to see that?
It's
Okay.
on stream.
It's just
now,
a little
yeah.
delay.
No, yeah, just a little bit of a delay. So yeah, PawChain's in second. Burb is still in first, past the million voting. So I think they were all prepped. There's a battle right here for 3 and 4. So we'll see. We only have
Look at
12
that
minutes
battle.
left, but
Yeah, that's gonna
It's
go
gonna be
down to the
wild.
wire, but it's looking good for our buddies over at PawChain here, Brian,
Mhm.
21, and the rest of the crew. So excited! It's looking like we're gonna get to hear
We-
that pitch a second time here in the coming.
we definitely
months.
want to send a big shout out to Transhuman, to Burb, to ADO, to everybody else that took part, man. It was a big effort, not just by us, but a lot of these other communities. They did a remarkable effort, pushing their communities, driving the votes home. So just a big shout out to those guys, man.
100%. And I have to say, it's kind of interesting. If you have any, questions, or if PawChain has a strong community, if you haven't seen them show up in the chat here or in their own socials, take a look at the leaderboard right now. I encourage you, and you'll see the strength of their community coming out there to push them at the very top of the leaderboard there in second. And look at that, the burn. We've got 1.14 million Hello tokens. We've crossed another 100,000 in terms of Hello tokens that have been burned. So awesome stuff. All the leaderboard votes and the tasks there contribut to that. So really cool stuff to take a look at there. Now, why don't we move over? Oh, go ahead, Bob.
I was just going to say real quick, here's the PawChain.net. That's a great website too. I've been playing around on that this morning. Cool things, ton of good information there for you guys. So definitely check this out. We'll pop that in the chat as well. But yeah, let's get to the wheel of names here. Everybody, Finn sent me over a handful of lists of names here. So we got 36 on here.
Sorry, there's more like double that.
Yeah.
We'll have to do the next giveaway with the next group of names, guys. There are just a lot to get to this morning. So we'll get to that. And then, Brian, is there anything we might be able to look forward to after that with the PawChain community?
Yeah, I'm actually going to give away $100 worth of my personal holdings in Paw to a winner. So you can go ahead and spin the wheel, and they can just send me a DM on follow me on X, and we'll get in the DMs, and we'll get this thing out there, and I'll send it to them right away.
Wow.
Love that. Thank
That's
you, thank you,
huge.
thank you, Brian. So what we'll
That's
thank
huge.
you, Brian. So what we'll do, if you haven't been added, we're gonna get your names added to the next wheel. So if you could just type in chat, anyone that wants to be added to that secondary $100 PawChain giveaway, go ahead and type spin in the chat. I'm gonna go ahead and drop that. In the chat right now. Go ahead and type spin in the chat, and we'll see if Bomb's fingers can get to all of the, the names that are going to come through there. The very best of luck to you, good buddy.
I moved my mic to the left. I'm about to mute it so I can start typing because there's going to be tons of names. Hey, no doubling up though. I have to check everybody that's already on
Well,
here.
yeah, no doubling up. We'll go through it. We'll make sure we get all the names that are there. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and spin the first wheel. We'll cycle back for a question while you're adding those other ones, so you don't have to feel like you're gonna have beads of sweat rolling down your face there.
Perfect.
But let's go ahead. So we'll go ahead and do the first one. Brian, do you want to give us a countdown for the spin the wheel? A little bit of a 3, 2, 1 action, and we'll get that going.
All righty, 3, 2, 1. Spin the wheel.
Here we go. Good luck, everybody.
All right, Bomb, you're going to have to let us know the winner there because we're on a little bit of a lag over here.
Came out to M. Rose. M. Rose with the win.
M. Rose, I know who that is for the Hello community. Congratulations. That's 500 Hello tokens to M. Rose. M. Rose is a winner for the first round. And while Bomb is adding just a load of names there, which I don't know if you can scan or drop that, but we'll work something out there for future streams. But congratulations to M. Rose. We got our winner. Go ahead and message me, or actually I'll message you because I know your name on Telegram, so we'll make sure we don't get any accounts there. So while we're doing that, I just want to turn it back over to the team over at PawChain. Just kind of any closing remarks that you guys could give. If the judges, let's say on Killer Whales, were to ask you a question like, hey, you and this other community we talked to, they do something similar. Why PawChain over this community? What would your answer be? I'm just curious.
You want to go first, Brian?
Oh, you can go ahead, 21.
Okay. I would definitely say interoperability. Interoperability. I would come back to that. That is our bread and butter. Definitely interoperability. Like I said, it's about removing the compartmentalizations for all these powerful communities and all these powerful chains. There is no reason we should be working against each other. There is no reason why we can't work together. We all holler for the adoption. We all want the same goals. We all have a common interest. We now have the technology to do it with. So
answering a trick question correctly is a hard thing to do, but you just did.
And we now have the technology to do it with. So I think moving forward, it's going to be good for not only blockchain tech, but for the holders alike. Like we talked about earlier, those two avenues, the holders and the builders. That's what PawChain is for.
I love it. And Brian, anything you'd add to that?
Yeah. When it comes to the interoperability solutions that currently exist, I'll say how we differ is other chains are interoperable chains. So they just jump bridge to bridge, one at a time. Multiple liquidity pools, multiple contract addresses. There is nothing like we're releasing that will just be to connect the chains, interchain operability. It's a little bit different to where all the chains will be simultaneously connected at one time through one liquidity pool and one contract address. You won't just be jumping, chain to chain to chain to chain, paying a fee on that, and then having those multiple liquidity pools because you have to fund your arrival. Ours will do that all on the back end, and there's just nothing like it that currently exists in the space.
So, I mean, great answer there. I know we got Bomb over here is going to be scouring your socials right now in order to get all the information that he can as much as possible. Because the reason Bomb was asking that question was just to know what are the next steps he himself should take in order to get a part of the PawChain community. So he's going to be checking those out. And I mean, I think everything you guys have said here is spot on with, I think, what a community wants to see from their project. It's leading from the back and saying, hey, what do you guys want? And then let me go to the front and do it for you, and then get your feedback on what I just built. That's really what is not talked about enough, and it's certainly not done enough. So I appreciate you guys coming on here and sharing a little bit about PawChain. I hope we can get you guys back on in the near future as Killer Whales is rolling around. Hopefully we can have you guys back on to let us know a little bit about that journey and what that's been like for you guys, because we want that to be as seamless as possible for you. And obviously we've heard really good reports from the projects that have been on the show. Do you guys know, if you guys were to land on the show, would it be the two of you that would go? Do you guys know what that would look like in terms of who would show up?
We're still in discussion. I'll let 21 go ahead. 21.
No, I was just saying we have a counterpart, the great gentleman by the name of Fafo 365. I believe he would be the one to probably take that spot, if I'm not mistaken.
Awesome stuff.
Brilliant mind. Phenomenal community member. Part of the Genesis team. Very tech software background. Very well spoken. I think he'd be the one leading the charge, and then we're talking about possibly bringing one other person. But we got, to be honest, like we got a list of like 8 to 10 other people who we would feel extremely confident about going on this show and talking. So once that's this, I'm sure we'll decide that. See if he wants to just go alone, or he's going to bring somebody with him. But yeah, there's plenty to choose from. We will have great representation regardless. I just wanted to take this time again to thank you guys for hosting such a professional space. The great questions. This was an unbelievable stream. Communication, free flow, the way you guys do things, it's great. And I truly appreciate it.
Well, absolutely. We're honored to have you guys on here. It's been fun, and we feel like it's loads of information that we feel then really excited about going and researching additional info after this, that you guys have pointed us in the right direction. So I couldn't have asked for a better description of what you guys are doing and what's coming, and then what's next for you guys. I think it's all very exciting. Bomb, how are we doing on the wheel there for the PawChain prize there, courtesy of Brian here?
We're all good. Here's the last question I'm going to ask you, Finn. Do you want the first list of names from the fire on there, or should we just remove those and do just the chat?
Let's do just the chat.
Perfect.
Those that are showing up and they're doing so in spades on the weekend. They get their own spin the wheel there.
I love it.
So go ahead and you can switch it over. We can't see it. We'll get that on the lag. So you got to call out the winner for that.
Alrighty, here we go. This is the final spin, final prize right here, and we will do the giveaway. All right, final spin in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Final spin for the win. For those of you that are in chat.
And while this is spinning, make sure you vote if you haven't already for PawChain. The leaderboard closes in 2 minutes. So jump over there if you haven't already.
All right. I just want to confirm that this name is in chat before it is.
Yeah, she's here.
Yeah. Okay, good. I think so, yeah. Perfect. There it is. There's the winner right there. I'm waiting for you guys to see it.
Oh, yep, I see it.
Okay,
and
perfect.
So go ahead and send us a quick message. We will validate the winner there. Congratulations, we've got our winner. Wow. Oh, yep, and they're in the chat to celebrate the victory. Congratulations, Kamal. There, it's Kamal. Singh.
Okay.
Yeah. And we will go ahead and connect there, and we'll get you your winnings there. Why don't you go ahead and post the Discord link there for Kamal? Bomb, if you could do that, that would be awesome. Just again in the chat. So Kamal, follow that link. And I just love the community even celebrating the victor in the chat. How awesome is that? You got people celebrating other people winning. So we love to see that. Well, thanks again, guys, for coming on here. Any just closing remarks from you guys before we transfer over to Bomb? He's probably going to send us off on our way with some words of wisdom.
Just thanks again for having us. Really appreciate it, and really had a great time. Really thank you so much.
Just wanted to say thank you again, and just want to say it's fun to win, but it's more fun to win together. And that's what we're about here at PawChain, building together, growing together, and winning together.
Awesome stuff. I think that could have stolen your words of wisdom today, Bomb, if we wanted it to. We could just copy paste that in the bar. But do you have anything else for us, Bomb, to send us on our way?
Mine is completely counter to what you just said, which is actually pretty funny. But
what do you mean? Go ahead.
Here we go. First off, Hassan, I'm so sorry, by the way. You were on the first one, and that's why I didn't double up on accident. So apologies there, but I'll send you a little message after this. Yeah, let's transition real quick to the words of wisdom. Here we go. We're just doing it full screen like the good old days. And then I'll move back. Here it is. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Don't teach a man to fish and you feed yourself. He's a grown man. Fishing's not that hard. Alrighty, folks.
Of course, when we say words of wisdom, it's more like send us on our way with a laugh. There we go.
Oh,
so, all right. Well, thank you, Brian and 21, for joining us today. It's been a blast having you guys, and we hope to have you on again real soon. But thank you,
Is the
Chad,
voting
for showing.
final? Is it closed? What do we got?
Oh, yeah, it's closed.
Let's go ahead and check out the final leaderboard there before we close stream.
Let's get back over
How
it
are we
real
looking,
quick.
Bob?
Let's see. Moving it back over. We have... Yep, looks like it is closed. Took second place. Bourbon first. PawChain in second. Transhuman. Let's go.
Congratulations.
Let's go. Community shout out. God, I'm so happy, man. That just made my weekend. Oh, awesome.
That's
That is
fantastic.
amazing.
Very exciting news. By the way, who took third? I know it was a close. Transhuman Coin took third.
Yep.
That was a switch from yesterday, I think. Wow. Great stuff to the top three. And like 21 said, awesome stuff to all the community, just communities that came out. It's really cool to see how many communities showed up. And at the end of the day, that's how crypto is going to advance even further, is all the communities just working together to build the very best products for people. So it's been awesome having you guys on. Congratulations to the entire PawChain community. What a cool thing to be on stream when that goes through. So we're excited for you guys and eager to see much more of PawChain in the future. But thanks for hopping on, and I hope everyone has an enjoyable weekend. We'll talk to you guys real soon.
So yeah.
Take care now. See y'all later.
There you go.